On behalf of the Phoenix Medical Transportation Team, we'd like to welcome you to Mid-Ohio. This video is designed specifically for Phoenix Medical Transportation staff to learn how to navigate the Mid-Ohio track so that we are safe and we get where we need to go. Right now, we're going to focus on coming in through the Gate 3 entrance. That is off of Steam Corners Road. And you will see multiple numbered gates. We're going to come in through Gate 3. On the left there is the will call. Will call is where you pick up some identification cards if you do not have them and they are required. It's also where people pick up tickets that they've ordered that they don't have physical copies of yet. And as we pass will call, we're going to come down to the safety stop and we're going to roll on down through the causeway. The safety stop guys are awesome. You're going to love them. As we're coming down the causeway, you're going to look on your right and you're going to see there's a road coming up. This is an access road that would take you back to employee parking. You can see right there, backup road to employee parking. This is a good way to go on busy weekends. We're going to continue to fly down the causeway here. You'll see a lot on the right. I'm going to explain all that to you in just a minute. If you look, as you hit the end here, you either have to go left or right. We're going to choose to go right, and it's going to take us down a road that is between the upper and middle paddocks. And there is a blue star where we are, so we are between the middle paddock and the upper paddock. And if you look straight ahead on this road, you'll see in the background, there's some employee parking back there, which we're going to return to and talk about in a minute. So the employee parking is right there. And then there's the maintenance building. We're going to talk about that too. But right now we're going to make a left into the middle paddock and take a look at what's going on in here. There's always going to be a ton of action going on in these paddocks. So as we're scanning through, you're going to see a building over there on your left. It's gray. That is the souvenir shop. And they also do some other things out of there too, depending on the event. Coming down through the gates, you're headed into the lower paddock. You can see the lower paddock is very expansive. There's dispatch, concessions, multiple tech garages, and this is just where you're at right here. You're on the road between the middle and lower paddock. And at the end of that road is the employee parking. And employee parking is actually located right next to the maintenance building, which is where all your morning meetings will occur and where you'll get the majority of your equipment. Everything usually happens in this back parking lot. And out of this back parking lot takes us to North Road. It's called North Road because it's actually headed north. Thunder Valley's over there on your left. It's a very, very loud area of the track. That's why it's called Thunder Valley. And North Road is very long. It goes all the way around the outside of the entire complex. So you'll see us kind of zooming through here, and you can see on your left is the track, and on your right is just some field. A lot of times you'll see a ton of campers, camping people, all kinds of activity over here, especially on big race weekends. So as we come down North Road, we get to a point where we have to go left or right, and we are going left towards the track. And this is a map just showing you what we did here. We went past Thunder Valley and we made a left. So we're going to continue to go down North Road, and we're going to come upon some woods here in just a minute. And these woods actually take us to the access gate that's going to get us onto our staging area that we're headed to on the track. So back into the woods we go. And you can see the track over there. Such a beautiful day. Perfect. And here we go through the woods and into the access gate. That's coming up for you just right now. There's that access gate. So we're going to come through, and we're actually going to be going to staging 5 or turn 5, which is a very popular area that we generally need to sit at during special events. We're going to branch off to the left here, and then you can see on the left there is the staging for turn 5. And as it rotates, you'll actually see right there is the track. Let's just review where we just went. So we left out of maintenance and we headed down North Road, and we made a left and went to the turn 5 staging. So let's go racing. Right now, as we're driving in the front seat with our driver, I'm going to cover just a couple of things for you, okay? We're headed under the bridge past turn 1 right now, and we've started our race. As we come down, you're going to see on your right that there are some roads to your right. That is a way that they shorten up and lengthen the track. There's several configurations, and I'll show you that at the end of the racing cycle here. As he makes his way around turn 2 and 3, I'm just going to let him ride. And as we run into turn 4, we're going to talk about China Beach, which is an area on the track that to the left you'll see looks like some sand, and that's actually our turn 5 China Beach, and that's because cars become beached up in that area, and that light brown sand actually very much looks like a nice place to take a suntan, huh? So here we are coming into China Beach now. It's on your left. There it is. Got a little snippet of that. And we're coming around turn 5, and we're headed into the S's. They're called the S's because they're a group of S bends that lead you to Thunder Valley. Thunder Valley is an area of straightaway that is very, very loud. Just due to the way that it is set up, you can hear the motors from miles away. As you're coming down out of Thunder Valley, you're going to be headed into something called the Carousel. It's called the Carousel because it's almost 180 degrees the cars are going to come around. So we're going around the Carousel right now, and you can see that big hook of a spin that we're taking in. And then we are headed back. It's time for you to go out on your own personal drive of the track. So you can see that you're starting right in this area, which is the start and stop area next to the lower paddock, and you're going to be headed on your way through the turns all by yourself. Welcome back, racers. We're headed up to the medical building off to the left. In just a minute here, a map's going to pop up, and in that red circle, you'll see that's exactly where we are on the track. As we come up around the bend, behind the medical building is where the medical team, that's a team that's assigned to the medical building, would park their vehicle. You can see right here, medical parking. And patients would come out the back door of the building or be taken into the back of the building. Okay, let's backtrack just a little bit. We are going to be going to medical from the entrance that we came in. So we are going down the boulevard from gate 3 when we came in. And as you go down the boulevard, instead of going right like you would go to the maintenance building, we're going to go left to the medical and the bridge. And here's a map of what that looks like right there, and a circle where you can see medical at. And as we're passing this little gate right here, we're coming up towards the bridge. You can look straight ahead and you're going to see a big red overhang where we have like a picnic area going on. And over to the right, there's a guardrail, which is right where you see medical. Those big red roofs right there, those are medical. And you can see the ambulances parked in the back and the big brown doors, which is where we would bring a patient out if we needed to. And as we pass medical, it's just showing how big the parking lot is there. We do not park there. All employees park at the maintenance building. And then again, here's a picture of medical, and there's a green circle around it. As we come past medical, we're going to come up over the bridge, and that bridge is going to take you to the infield where there is a lot of activities usually going on. This is where vendors usually set up. There's another concession stand over here. And as we're coming down the bridge into the infield, you're going to see that there's field to the left and there's field to the right. That field to the left we're going to cover in a little while. That's a special consideration. But if you look over on the right there, you're going to see a road that takes you towards the track. And there's a way to get to several places from there. So if you look, you can just see it's circled in green there. And now we're going to talk about those cutouts. So the track has multiple cutouts, and they're indicated by this orange area at the beginning. And this is where an ambulance can sneak out or sometimes in to get where they're going. This is the exit of stage 2 cutout, and this map will be available to you. And you can also see it circled on the map in red there on your right-hand side. And it's just showing that, you know, there's an orange for the entrance and where it's at. So here's that map. And again, you're going to see this is the start and finish back straight cutout, and you can see where that's circled at on the map. Out of turn 3, there's the cutout for that. As you're coming out of turn 3, which is on the map right there, you can see it circled in red. And then there's the grandstands cutout of turn 4. Passing the grandstands, it is noted on the map there, so you can see it. Then there's not another turn until turn 5, which is China Beach, and I'm going to show you that separately here in just a minute. There's the turn 7 cutout, and turn 8 has 2 cutouts, a pedestrian cutout. There's not enough room for a vehicle to come out through there. And then it also has a regular truck cutout as well. And you can see on the map it indicates some of these are infield cutouts and some of these are out or driver's left. So some are driver's right, which are the infield, and some are driver's left. And you can just see as it's going through. The staging for 9 is on the infield, and you can see that it has an in area and an out area. So that particular one allows you to come in and has you pointing out a certain direction on the track. So there's that out. And as we pass 9, we remember that there's Thunder Valley, and it was named Thunder Valley because of the way the cars roar as they come down in that area, because it's a nice flat straight. And there's the return of what that looks like. So you see there's a porta potty there, and that's the exit coming out of turn 9 to Thunder Valley. And then there's the curve 11 cutout. That's obviously right on the curve there. You can see that indicated on the map as well. And there's that orange marker just showing you that that's a cutout, just a reminder to everybody. So if you're coming around the track, that kind of helps you point out where the cutouts are. There's the dispatch, which is where they used to dispatch from. They don't dispatch from there anymore, but that is where we park squads. And there's the carousel. And then there's your pit lane entrance, which is taking you right back into the pits. Let's talk about those track configurations. They race several ways. The first way is chicane, and I will explain that in a minute. This is the oval pattern. You can see it omits a lot of the track. This is known as the short circuit, so that omits the oval and the chicane. This is the chicane circuit. And this is the main circuit, which is what you'll primarily see racing the majority of the time. But what about inclement weather? So you can see as we come down over the bridge on the pedestrian walk on the bridge, you can see we're coming towards the infield. And if you look to the left, there's a path there when you get to the bottom. And that path takes you down this little roadway that takes you to the bridge tunnel. And that bridge tunnel is where we go when there's bad weather. And what we're going to do is just hang out in there. And then here are the maps if you want to screenshot these, just in case you need them for your reference later on. There's two maps there, one with the roads and one with the cutout. A chicane is actually shaped like a keyhole on our track, and a chicane is basically an area where race car drivers are forced to slow down because of the tightness of the curve. And this is great for learning to be a little bit more agile, and it also is just a little safer for new racers. So that chicane is used basically for that reason. And then, as promised, there is turn 5. So if you're coming out of 4, you see China Beach, which looks like a beach, but it's actually kind of dirt. And that's where a lot of cars go off the road. You can see the marks on the road right there. And it's because it's the very first sharp turn after that long straight. And I have a circle going around that on the map for your right. It shows turn 4, which was kind of cut out from the other area of the video just because it's right across from China Beach. And as we come down right past China Beach, on your left, you're just going to see the stage 5. That's where our ambulances would stage. We get to there from the North Road, which we covered earlier. And if you look over there, you'll also see there's a porta pot area. Generally, on any given day for any race, we're always at stage 5. That's never left out. That's a pretty permanent fixture. On behalf of the Phoenix Medical Transportation team, we cannot wait to see you at the track.
Party time! My friends are gonna be there too.